Yeah, these projects concentrated on homes in Ward 8 for D.C. homes. They're now safer and more sustainable. Homeowners were ecstatic to be able to get this free makeover. The Wells Fargo Welcome Home Initiative sent in volunteers ready to do the work. That's often very hard for families on a super tight budget these days. Now look at the volunteers there, all in this house. This is in Ward 8's Congress Heights neighborhood. They partnered up with the local foundation Rebuilding Together DC Alexandria to make an impact in the community.
Hunger. This food bank has had to change how it does things, delivering food to homes across the city in order to limit the numbers coming in.
Typically, we would serve about 400 households a day, but we've seen many days during this pandemic when we've served over 1,000 households. And so there was a big spike in terms of food insecurity.
And it is the people who already had the least who face the most precarious future in this city, which is the seat of power in one of the richest countries in the world. Lebu Diseko, BBC News, Washington.
E.B. Henderson. I'm here with Dr. Edwin Henderson, his grandson, but you call him the grandson of basketball. Talk to me how he got that moniker.
Well, I call him I pinned the name the grandfather of black basketball because in 1904, after attending Harvard, he brought basketball back here to Washington, D.C., and is credited with introducing the sport for the first time on a wide-scale organized basis to African Americans.
That is really interesting. So you've opted out of the portal, and people would just naturally assume that you'd want to be a part of it because that's how people are able to sign up and know about the supply. But why has it helped you getting out of that portal, reach the people in your community who need this vaccine right now?
No, I don't pretend to understand all of it, but it's not surprising that we know in our community there's been a huge digital divide. And so it's not surprising that if you use the internet to try to have equal access, what you're going to end up is with inequitable access. And so I think it was important for us to use more sort of direct efforts to reach our communities, to make sure that we were intentional about who we targeted. And so just calling people, to be honest with you, it's just more rational of a way to make sure you get Black and brown people in, particularly if that's the community that you live in, and that is who we have historically served. And so I really applaud the DC government for being nimble enough to say, hey, let's shift this process and allow these clinics and the other sort of community clinics that we're a part of also doing the same thing to target their own patients and their own communities. To make sure that the vaccine
so many of us have our eye on inflation and the latest reports, seeing that it's up more than 8% from this time last year. So how are families responding?
Well, you know, inflation has been tough on everyone and everybody's feeling it. And, you know, if you are a person that works from home, you're not having to commute, so maybe you don't feel the gas prices that much. If you're a vegan, you're missing the worst of inflation as far as some of the meat prices you have out there. But it is something that you have to deal with. So what we're talking to clients about is just trying to figure out what your personal inflation rate is. Okay, so if you look at last year, if you look at your monthly expenses, and they were $3,100 a month last year, and if this year is $3,500 a month, that $400 difference is about a 12.9% increase, and that's your personal.
Thanksgiving charities are being faced with higher demand for food on top of the higher food prices, along with fewer donations at a time when they need it most. Fox 4's Madeline Rivera visited one food bank to see the pinch that the food prices are putting on so many during the holidays.
Bread for the city is a lifeline for so many in Washington, D.C.
Have a good day, sir.
Barbara Meadows, just one of them.
I've been getting the free groceries for a while now.
But she expects she'll be getting more bags than usual because her food stamps aren't stretching as far as they used to.
I went to Walmart. The Safeway, the prices have went up a little bit.
During the pandemic, Bread for the City saw a spike in need, giving out 700 to 1,000 grocery bags a day. Now they're giving out more than 1,000 bags a day, in part, they say, because of inflation. the higher prices affecting their budget too.
Saw you on GMA get that huge check from Wells Fargo. How helpful is that in investing in the future of loyalty books?
Well, it's incredible. We were thinking, in the next couple years or so, we would start work on our bookmobile, and instead it's going to be like right out the gate. We're going to work on it for 2023 and start building that out. We're able to really hit the ground running for the holiday season, which is make or break for any local retail. If you want your neighborhood to look like your neighborhood, you need to shop in your neighborhood. So we're not going to be able to provide so much great stuff for our customers there and then be in more places starting in 2023.